So thank you very much for joining me. My name is Andrew Cowling and I'm the Channel Marketing Specialist at PFU EMEA Limited. You hopefully are a regular viewer of the webinars, and today I thought that given I couldn't really think of something to specifically focus on, that I would instead focus on everything. So I wanted to just really do a quick slide on a lot of our current initiatives, our ranges, our software, our opportunities, just to really give you a quick flavour as to who we are, what we do, and of course I'd thoroughly recommend that we have webinars on all these topics. So if you did want to do a deep dive or get more information on anything, then those webinars can be found on our channel program. So next slide. I've done that one already. So to start on our platforms, we have an award-winning imaging channel program. This is basically a portal of information, and this is where you, our partners, can come and really find a wealth of enablement tools that really will help to understand, to position the scan opportunity with your customer base. So within here you can find some really helpful scanner configurators where you can ask a set of questions and then certain scanners will be recommended. You can compare those scanners. There'll be toolkits to download for the products, so there'll be things like images, videos, brochures that you can download. You can even co-brand those if you wanted to. There's sections where you can request evaluation and demo units. You'll understand about upcoming events. You'll find obviously my webinars, as I've alluded to. So really it's a great first starting point for you when you want to find anything out about products, latest promotions, and so on. So thoroughly encourage you to sign up if you're not already. I think the fact that you're on this webinar probably means you're getting our comms and you are signed up, but if there's anyone else in your organization that's not signed up, then please do get them to join. This has got a nice visual as to some of the items that we have. So you'll see it's not just limited to being a bucket of information, a repository of stuff. There is some very interesting, some very engaging pieces in there that will really help you take your understanding and your engagement to the next level. Imaging Awards, another great platform of ours that's probably a good few years now in the making, but this is constantly evolving. We're constantly thinking about what more can we do with this, aside from just the base points that we have for products. So essentially, you register for an Imaging Awards account, you log your sales, and we reward you for those sales. We give you base points. There may be products that are on bonus points for a certain month, and it's a way of just building up those points similar to your air miles scheme. Turn those into prizes, and hopefully help foster some loyalty, some engagement. And what we can also do, and what I'd very much encourage you to talk to us about, is bespoke activities. So we can do things unique to yourself. So we could take your sales floor, we could come up with some metrics, we could roll something out for a few months with a pot of imaging reward points, and really run that with you to see how that works. We've done similar things with other partners, so we've got some learnings, we've got some understandings about what works. So please talk to us if you'd like to get involved and do more aside from just the standard accumulating of points. And I'm sure you've been on previous webinars where I've spoken about our trips to Japan, some of the ad hoc prizes that we do, and that leads quite nicely onto the slide after this. This is just showing you our bonus points for the products that we have this month for resellers. For distribution, you have your points where you get the SP products. When you log those, you get extra bonus points, and service plans. So resellers, 7300, 7100 service plans, disti, SP service plans. And what we also do is we reward distribution as well for referring colleagues. So I think there's a slide later on where I'll quickly mention that. We have a flyer that just gives some ideas as to how many points you might need to earn certain prizes. The referral side of things that I mentioned is a standard set of points for resellers. Distribution get double points, but if there's anyone that you know that isn't yet in the platform, then please go to your Imaging Awards page, go to this little icon at the top here, refer a colleague. You'll be able to refer that colleague who can then get on the system himself, get points, and then you will also get extra bonus points as well. The new promotion that I alluded to is called our 123 Draw promotion. This is aimed at resellers in certain countries, so apologies if you're not one of those resellers in one of these countries, but it basically is around logging your sales within the Imaging Awards platform, and they will be exchanged for tokens. Apologies, I don't know what's going on in that last one there. What it basically means is every time you log a third product within a certain category, you will earn tokens. So this is between the 1st of June and the 30th of September. So make sure you're registered at Imaging Awards, make sure you're logging those sales, you'll get your bonus points anyway. But what you'll also start doing is accumulating tokens. They will be entered into monthly prize draws, but also a main prize draw that will take place in October. And there is a chance for everyone that's accumulated a token to win that prize. The categories that I mentioned are split between our products. So ScanSnap, you can earn 1 token for every 3 models that are logged, right up to our new production machines, which aren't listed here, the 78, 7900, where you could earn 4 tokens, low volume production 3 tokens, and then sort of some of our desktop and workgroup machines 2 tokens. So you see how that works, see how the metrics are on that, and probably how quickly you could rack up those tokens. And there's just some examples that I've just gone through about how you get that. And of course, it goes without saying that if it's 3 products across the categories, there are no tokens. Oops, a little bit about the prize, the main prize itself. There will be a choice of 3 different luxury prizes, and you can choose that prize up to a value of 500,000 Imaging Award points. So we're not taking this lightly. This is a very, very good prize that is on offer here. So please, as I say, make sure you're logging. Our previous promotion that ran earlier this calendar year has finished, but what's not finished is the ability for that end user to claim. So they have until the 12th of July. So for anyone that bought on the 12th of May, they can claim between the 12th of June and 12th of July. So there's probably quite a few customers out there who bought within, where are we today, 20th of June, so bought within, where are we, 20th of April and the 12th of May, that may still need to claim. So please just remind them, that's what I'm essentially trying to say with this slide. We have an app, please download the app. You have the ability to explore catalogs, see what we're up to, see your Imaging Awards point status. It's called Imaging Channel Essentials. We have demo unit pricing. So this is quite an interesting program that can be seen within our Imaging Channel portal, where you can buy every single unit in our range for a reduced price. That should then be used as a demonstration unit, whether on site, whether on customer visits, and then you're able to sell that after 90 days. So please have a look at the pricing on that. Please have a think about what potentially you could do with those products, and then of course you can sell them afterwards. I do a lot of work with our valued ISV partners, particularly we have a separate webinar theme that goes with ISV partners. We have one next week, so please keep an eye out for the invitation. Sign up to that. It really just gives you a good idea as to perhaps a little bit more around the solution piece, a bit more opportunity for conversations with your customers about more than just hardware. So how can we help you with a pain point within invoice processing? How can we help you with a pain within a pain point that might be related to case file management? And some of our ISVs really drill down into very niche vertical markets. So it should give you a good idea as to some of the other opportunities out there. 17th of July, we're running an actual live event at our offices in Hayes, we have these 4 great partners that are joining us. Again, please keep an eye out on comms, sign up to our day. We'd be delighted to see you there, and we'll basically have time set aside with each of these 4 partners where you can talk to them about what they do, how you can get involved with them, and what some of the opportunities are with your customer base. Why Fujitsu? Again, as valued partners of ours, regular attendees, regular sellers of our products, I'm sure you're very well aware of some of our key USPs around our high reliability, high quality products. We have customer bases out there that have been with us for many, many years. Unfortunately, our products probably do go on for a little bit too long in cases, but that certainly helps when it comes to a very loyal customer base, a customer base that's very willing to talk to other partners within the same industry around the virtues of Fujitsu scanners. We're exclusively channel loyal via yourselves, our experienced partner network, and we have these wonderful programs and platforms, technical support to really help you and make sure that we're helping you to deliver that best service. I won't dwell too much on this slide, but this is perhaps an interesting slide for you to take to some of your customers around some of our install bases, some of our customers globally that have our scanners. So please talk to your account manager. Where's it done that? Please talk to your account manager if you'd like to know more in your country around how our scanners are being used, and that may again help other conversations when it comes to taking that to some of your customers. So I may have been a little bit optimistic trying to do a little bit of everything today, but we'll plow on. Going on to our products, we have an amazing portfolio now of scanners, broaching sort of 3 different ranges that we can take a quick look at. So firstly, going into ScanSnap, this is this little range here, bottom right. Might be little, but it's certainly in terms of potential and units, it's huge. So ScanSnap is very much a personal productivity device, very much for micro, small and medium-sized businesses. Needs very little in the way of training, very easy to set up, very intuitive, and it's all around how can we help customers, how can we help businesses become more productive, to save time, become more efficient, and importantly, how can they differentiate themselves from the competition. So you can imagine this small and medium-sized business market is huge. There's new players coming in every day trying to chip away at existing customer bases and market share. So it's all about how can we help businesses embrace technology to become a little bit more efficient themselves in terms of their processes, but also how can they offer their customers a better service. So how can they be engaging with them digitally rather than perhaps pumping out stuff in the post that might take a little bit longer. People want to access things immediately now, they don't want to wait anymore. So it's all about converting all that paper-based information into a digital format that's then easier to search, to retrieve, to edit, and to push to other processes. And of course, the big thing, the big buzz everywhere at the minute is around compliance and GDPR, and how can we ensure that we're securing who can access material, audit trails, retention periods, and so on. ScanSnap's brilliant because it has a lot of automated functions. It's all about how can we make the operator's life easy, both in terms of pre-scan processes, so not having to sort batches into separate piles, but also during the scan process and after the scan process. So a lot of people will say, I've got a multifunction device, why do I need a dedicated scanner? And a lot of it will be around the time that operators will find, A, having to walk to a multifunction device, B, having to queue up perhaps if someone else is using it, but also not having to think about with a dedicated scanner, particularly ScanSnap, around what they're putting in. ScanSnap will automatically delete those blank pages. It will automatically take out any deskew. If it's gone in upside down, it will rotate. It will crop according to the size of the document that's scanned, so you could just throw through business cards up to A4 size. It will look at automatic resolution. It will also detect color. So if you've got a document that's a mixed batch of black and white and color, it will scan accordingly. And of course, that's going to help on your file sizes. Also, I always say that the hardware is brilliant, but it's the software that really does the magic, and really sort of starts setting ScanSnap apart when it comes to the usability. And often you run through a set of features around ScanSnap, and it might be only when you reach number 15 that a little light bulb goes off with that customer that thinks, bingo, that's exactly what I need that product for. So just to very quickly pull out some of these great pieces of software, we bundle Abby Fine Reader. That gives the ability to scan to editable format. So Word, Excel, PowerPoint, simply scan those documents, convert to whichever format you want with Abby Fine Reader, and bang, that is perfectly editable. And it's all about making content useful. It's all about making sure that what you're scanning can then be easily converted and easily pushed to other areas. So we have a great piece of software called CardMinder and ScanSnap Receipt that's essentially scanning, pulling out that data, pushing that to your CRM system or pushing that to your expense management system. Nuance Power PDF, that comes as standard with the SV600 and the RX1500. That's a PDF generating piece of software. ScanSnap Cloud is also very interesting in that makes scanning even more, I was going to say even more lazier, but even more intuitive, in that you have the ability through ScanSnap Cloud to predetermine types of documents so that when you scan them, ScanSnap will automatically recognize what's being scanned and route that off to where you've asked that to go. So for example, it might be, if it sees a receipt, it goes off to Concur. If it sees a standard invoice, it goes off to Dropbox. So you're not even having that interaction with the driver when you scan that says, I want it to go here. ScanSnap can now do that automatically. And that can be done with the RX100 and the RX1500. So quickly looking at some of the examples as to where our ScanSnaps can be used. We have two mobile devices, the S1100i, the RX100. RX100 is completely cable free, has a rechargeable battery. So as you can imagine, these are very much being used for capture out in the community, capture out in the field. So this might be workers, this might be healthcare, this might be education that are out visiting patient sites and wanting to scan straight to the cloud or straight to a smart device. This also might be people out on the road, mobile workers, and so on. We then have two desktop models, the S1300i and the RX1500. Both with ADF now, so whereas the mobile devices were single sheet fed, these can now capture multiple documents at a time. RX1500 is up to 50 sheets, and that will be scanning those sheets at 30 pages a minute. So very, very speedy scanning. The S1300i can also be USB powered, so it could also be used as a portable device if needs be. And going back to what I said about the small and medium-sized businesses, this is really starting to look into those industries where there's a lot of paperwork, it's very admin heavy, and where something like ScanSnap will very quickly take away a lot of those pain points and turn those into something very positive in terms of those conversations. So we're getting a lot of traction at the minute around accountants, bookkeepers, so people wanting to manage finances, tax declarations, and of course general paperwork. We then have the SV600. This is a great little niche scanner, overhead device, so primarily ideal for scanning books, bound documents, delicate documents. But we're starting to uncover a lot of very niche areas where the scanner is being used. So a good example that we found out recently were solicitors using it to scan wills. So perhaps something that is delicate, you don't want to put it through an automatic document feeder, but also it might be of a size where it's a lot easier to scan overhead. Other examples where this is being used is something called the Watercolor World project. So being used to digitize very delicate documents. So watercolors, preserving them for future generations, but also sort of safeguarding things against natural disasters and theft. You look at poor old Notre Dame recently, and some of the loss that would have occurred there when it came to paintings and watercolors and delicate items. So a whole range of areas where this is being used. We're developing case studies. I'm working on a couple at the moment with schools. So if you'd like to talk to us about your customers and how they're using them, or indeed how we're finding them being used, then let us know and we can help you out there. I've spoken about ScanSat Cloud already, but you'll see on the right hand side here some of the integrations. It's too keen to get onto the SP range. Some of the key integrations that we have, and that's continually evolving. So in time, hopefully in the next few months, we'll start adding more and more direct links to those. So brilliant to be able to talk about to your accountants, and maybe even talk to your accountants' clients about, and maybe get them to digitize in the first place straight to an expense system, so that then the accountants perhaps got an easier job. So SP range, we can't forget our SP models. These are what we would determine as being the on-ramp to document management. So once a user has, perhaps as a user that started using ScanSnap or has started using a multifunction device, has realized that actually I've got a lot to scan, I want to start doing a little bit more with those documents, then the SP is certainly something that could be spoken about. So we have 4 models in the range. And these are, we use the word budget devices here, but these are certainly cheaper devices. And as I say, that sort of next step, as it were, to document management, more scanning into workflows. You have the Twain and ISIS drivers that will really allow for a little bit more professional capture around your documents. They vary slightly in terms of the speeds. So we have 3 ADF models, 20, 25, 30 pages a minute. They all come with the PaperStream IP drive, and there's as you'd expect, a little slide later on PaperStream IP. And then we have a flatbed version called the SP1425. That sits at 25 pages a minute. So I'm sure you all know that the last 2 digits typically can notify you of the speed of the machine. As with all our machines, we have consumable kits and cleaning kits and service plans. So the SP series comes with PaperStream IP, ABBYY Fine Reader Sprint. So that's again the idea of making content useful, because you can search, you can retrieve, and so on. Presto Page Manager for enhancement conversion, and again just being generally more organized, and PaperStream Capture Lite, and I'll talk a little bit about the different levels of PaperStream Capture later. Crikey, it's 5 to 10. Then we move on to our FI scanners. Spoke about 2 new machines last week. So these are brand new mid-volume production machines. Again, manufactured to very high quality, very high processes in Japan. Due to time, I would recommend you watching the webinar I did a couple of weeks ago on these 2 new machines. But another good string to our portfolio. We've moved to that 7th generation, and you'll see these machines. If you'd like to get hold of evaluation units, if you'd like to get units to put with your customers to try out, then please let us know. 2 other machines we launched recently are the 76 and the 7700. So again, faster, more intuitive, great feeding mechanisms, new technological advancements. I'd always encourage you, again, if you want to get hold of any of these, please let us know. We're more than happy to make them available for evaluation. If you'd like to get hold of the demo units, then check out the pricing on the Imaging Channel program. FI document scanners are all around how can we accelerate scanning processes, how can we improve efficiencies, and as you move towards these sort of production level machines, so you're finding conversations opening up within public sector, within financial institutions, large corporates, BPOs and scanning bureaus. So a lot of people now are thinking, I don't want to scan on site. I don't want to have to make that investment around scanning on site. I just want to give that to someone else. So there's a lot of scanning bureaus and BPOs where that scan process can be outsourced. 7300 NX. This again is a very new scanner, but a very different concept of scanner to what we've known before. So we're very excited about this product. And again, we're working with a lot of our ISV partners. And if you were to come to the ISV day later in July or look at some of our webinars, it's very much around our partners integrating with this machine. So this is all about web-based capture. It's all about scanning to third-party applications without the need for any further infrastructure. This will connect via a wireless connection. You have the ability to authenticate yourself via NFC card or via the touchscreen with a PIN number. And there are 4 deployment options. I won't go into those because I realise that we're very, very close on time. But again, there's a webinar here. And there's some very good conversations that we can have around this machine when it comes to the potential with some of your clients. So it could well be finance, it could be healthcare, it could be automotive, it could be legal. So there's a lot of potential for this machine when it comes to sitting in environments where people could just walk up to it, scan, press a button, and off it goes. So again, intuitive scanning, easy scanning, straight into line of business processes. PaperStream IP. So this comes with our FI scanners as well as SP scanners, and this is all around enhancement. So it's all around taking that document you're scanning and cleaning it up, making it more easier to push into OCR processes. So it could be eliminating freckles, eliminating coffee stains that might be on a document. It could be inverting characters to make it more readable. It could be reducing the background of images. So it's all about how can we enhance that image through the profiles. PaperStream Capture is all around the sort of profile selection, profile generation. It's a very simple to use, easy interface for batch management, batch profile selection, sorting documents by patch or barcode. So setting up those profiles so that when a user comes to set those documents through, it's choose a profile and they know that those documents are being scanned as they wish. We have 3 versions of PaperStream Capture. PaperStream Lite comes with SP. PaperStream Basic comes with our FI models, and there is an upgrade available to PaperStream Capture Pro. We're currently going through some workshops around PaperStream Capture Pro to, I guess, almost relaunch what Capture Pro is, what some of the benefits are, what some of the opportunities are. So really looking at customers that have got PaperStream Capture Pro already, what are they using that for? So keep an eye out. We're going to be doing a lot more around that to try and help you with conversations, not just when you sell FI scanners around the upgrade path to PaperStream Capture Pro, but also your existing FI install base. And this could be going back to VRS users that we used to bundle with FI scanners. There could be conversations as well there around the idea of perhaps in the first instance upgrading to PaperStream Basic, but then pushing on to Pro. In true Paul Banner style, for those that know him, whenever we normally come on to service, time's run out. But I can see there's people still with me, so I'm going to quickly go through service. Service is very important because not only is there a very valuable message here, a very, very strong value add message here, but there's also a lot of margin potential. So there's some understandable customer benefits. It's about how can we keep downtime to an absolute minimum? How can we keep producing those high quality images, keep performance of those products going, help managing costs, help managing time, and so on. Then of course there's the benefits to you, our partners. So I mentioned earlier around growing profits. There's obviously some very strong margin associated with our service plans. It's that customer loyalty, it's that value message. It's about offering a complete solution. So we've now got the hardware, we've got the software in PapeStream, we've got the service offering within the AP program. So there's a lot more to talk about. It is linked with Imaging Rewards, and it's all about, as I say, building that loyalty, protecting your customers, and having the ability to have further conversations. So we offer our service plans with Imaging Rewards. We've vastly reduced the number of SKUs that are available. I'm sure a lot of you will remember a couple of years ago there was a whole raft of SKUs associated with products. So there's been a lot of work gone in by Paul and his team to reduce the number of SKUs, make it a lot easier to know which service plan comes with which products. So we have some extended warranty offerings across our products, and these come with the reward points that I mentioned here. Then we have for work group, departmental and network, we have the extended warranty, but now we also have the bronze offering. So this is moved from an advanced exchange model where the machine would be swapped out to now an on-site service. So if you didn't want just an advanced exchange, you could upgrade the customer to an on-site service, and that would be an 8+8 response. So 8 hours response, 8 hours fix. Then when we get to our higher volume machines, naturally, because of the volumes that are being scanned, there's now the need for a lot more in terms of different offerings around the service. So you'll see a little bit more creeping onto the logos here. Predominantly, it's preventative maintenance. So it's about getting someone visiting regularly to give that machine a service. So ideally trying to get that serviced before it breaks down. So we have 1 preventative maintenance a year with silver, 2 gold, 3 platinum. And as I say, that's now cut down to 5 recommended SKUs compared to what was probably dozens, I think, in the past, and a whole stack of imaging reward points that come with those, plus at the minute you're getting your bonus. So please make sure you're having those conversations with your customers about extending the warranty. And certainly if you're an e-tailer on the call with us, I'm happy to work with you to make sure you're listing those SKUs so that there's the potential for that upsell at time of checkout. I think I did the first half slides in about 25 minutes and the second half slides in about 8. So apologies if you feel it's been a bit rushed. I would certainly recommend people to check out our webinar tab within the imaging channel program, where you can view them all in a bit more leisurely time and in a bit more depth. So that's the URL for the channel program. This recording will come out, where are we, tomorrow, Friday. And if you would like to get hold of the PowerPoint, then just come back to me in person and I can get that sent over to you. The last important part is that we have syndicated content held at 3 different syndication houses: Webclass, CNET, IceCap. This is content that we control ourselves. So we are working directly with these 3 companies to make sure they have content on our products, on our consumables, on our service plans. So if you'd like to hook into those and make sure you've got the latest information, then please do so. I can help you to do that. And if you manually update your site, then again, let me know and I can easily furnish you with content. And I'm fairly sure, yes, that's it. So thanks as always for joining. I hope you have a nice rest of the day, and hopefully I'll speak to you next week on the Tuesday, I believe it is, where I have the ISV webinar with iDoc Solutions. So thanks ever so much and goodbye.